The first of the Chibok girls has been found and rescued 2 years on. Amina Ali Nkeki, she was one of over 200 schoolgirls who were kidnapped a few years back by the Islamist group Boko Haram in Nigeria. Now she's 19 years old. She was found in the Sambas Forest, on the fringes of the Sambas Forest, not by the military, not by the government, not by any search and rescue team deployed by them, but actually by a vigilante group. Now, the government in the past has been criticized widely for not doing, enough. Not just Buhari, but the previous Jonathan government too. But yeah, there was a shootout. They actually even got one of the commanders, a Boko Haram commander, who was saying that he was her husband. They got them both, and I mean, this is not 2 years on it took them, and they got one.
Do we think that the Nigerian authority just doesn't want to go after? Like, you and I have covered stories like this before where there's an aspect of children, just like she was being taken, she now has children of her own because of her own, victimization in this case. But why didn't they do anything? That's my question.
That's why this story is huge right now. Now, there's a lot of reasons, and we can get into it. We could say that they are doing a lot, it's just hard to get into this forest. I think the truth is that this is, we're talking about.
The other ones were alive though too,
yes,
correct?
She did.
Okay.
And we're talking about the northeast of the country, and this is personally how I feel about it. I think the government doesn't give a shit about that part of the country. There's no oil there. There's no revenue coming in from there. If this was happening in other areas, I think they would be quick to stomp this out, but they have no reason to really go up there, so they don't really want to. But yeah, like I said, this is huge for that reason, because she came out, has given a lot of information, saying that yes, all of the girls are still alive except for 6, which is very sad, but the majority of them are still alive. They're somewhere in this forest. They didn't talk to the media as far as where exactly, because obviously now the government's going to try to go in there. But I mean, this is going to put huge pressure on the government that's been called incompetent for so long regarding, the disappearing of these girls. Now there's a lot of pressure on them because it wasn't them who found them. They're all still there, and this vigilante group fucking finds them and now comes out and says, well, the government's not doing anything about them. We had to look for it ourselves. It's really sad, actually. And here we talked about it for like a week. This was a story here in the U.S. I mean, we saw Michelle Obama holding up the sign, "Bring back our girls." A lot of people were doing that, but then everyone kind of forgot about it.
They did, because there is a sense of, it's not helplessness, it's not complacency, there doesn't seem to be an organized effort. There seems to be a lot of, this is what's happening, but not this unified, and again, we've covered aspects of this story. One girl is what we're talking about here, one girl. And, now at this point, these girls have been victimized and raped, they have children by these Boko Haram fighters.
Are they going to be reintegrated into society now after something as terrible as that? The girl was 17 when she was taken. Now she's 19. Now she has a kid who she was probably forced to have with this commander, married off at such a young age. How do you go back to a normal life after that? And she's not the only one. All of them are probably subject to the same kind of abuse. Well, that's why they took them.
They have a responsibility to these girls.
They really do, and the families as well. So, I mean, it wasn't the government that went in, it wasn't the army, it wasn't anyone. It was this vigilante group that's had it up to here with an incompetent government and took matters into their own hands. We got this one girl, Miss Nkeki. Hopefully, whatever information she gives to authorities in Nigeria will be very helpful in finding the other 200.